I played a lot of sports. I do think the experiences for students is different. If you're involved in, say, sports or involved in a choir or drama, somewhere where you're in the town a lot beyond the school day, you really develop you develop more close friendships with the other kids in the town. So a lot of my memories from West Hartford, I have a lot of memories that were on the weekend, a lot of weekend parties in West Hartford.
In my sophomore year, it's getting a little bit better. Like at the beginning of my freshman year, it was rocky, but in the middle of my freshman year, it started to get better because I played on a sports team. So that's how a lot of kids started to get to know me. And now I'm mingling a little bit more, and I'm talking to more kids, getting to know more kids, getting to see how they live and how I live, and then we can talk like that about different separate homes that we come from.
Affected my life in a positive sense. Of course, there was the academic exposure and having access to a better education. But for me, this program is more beneficial in your social development. So for the students that really get involved, that are in sports, other extracurricular activity, to me, I think they benefit the most from the program.
The ones that he participated in last year was the science, building robots, and then he also participated in a math club. He also participated in a football club, which is basically talking about his football. He plays football we got him in a football team. I mean, we keep him as active as possible. On the after-school clubs, actually Craig provides transportation back from the clubs, which is absolutely great.
Currently we have nine children, and we try to do activities after school, so they stay right at school, and then we get a late bus home from CREC that does take the kids door to door. And primarily the activities really revolve around outside fun. For instance, in October, the end of October, we're going to Rosedale Farms to go through a corn maze and pick pumpkins, hayride. We have an after-school activity planned in November with our gym teacher, who will do kickball and capture the flag and games such as that. Halloween, we've got something planned for Halloween, just family trick-or-treating with the different families who are involved. The kids love anything. The kids from Hartford, as well as the kids from Simsbury that we bring together for our activities, just love anything we do, so we have great participation.
As I go from town to town and as I do professional development and educate boards of education, parent groups, I realize that a lot of people really don't understand why Project Choice is important. And I think when we do the educational component of that and people understand the true value, they're more open and they're more receptive. So, you know, it seems that we need to do some more education within those towns to better help people to understand and to be more open.
It would be great if you could have a different means of getting people around, but of course you're kind of constrained by what you have. But maybe even providing opportunities to, say, a late bus, so kids can do after-school activities and feel more like they're a part of the community. I often felt at times that I was kind of torn between two worlds. You know, yes, I'm at school today, but I can't do the science club because I have to catch the bus home.
For new choice kids or something, that they should have at least a welcoming committee or something, so that the kids can get to know others. Like, I had someone that showed me around the school, like before I entered, and she was like, she brought me around the school, but when I seen her in the hallway, she wasn't as friendly as she was during the walkthrough. So I was like, you're supposed to be the one that's teaching me around. Why, you know, like, you're supposed to help me and mingle with the others. I had to do that all on my own. So I think more like constructive of the school system for infield per se, that they get a welcoming committee and like the kids stick with you and get to know you and walk you around and let you know how stuff is.
I think looking back, I think the best thing that you could do for a child is help them to know self. You know, help them to have pride in who they are and teach them that they don't have to change. You don't have to blend, you know what I mean, to survive. That was one of the things that was more difficult for us, It's hard to, you know, especially when you're in elementary school, you know, at that age you want to fit in.
Mhm.
But I think we need to, and that's what I try to instill in my children, pride in who you are, in your heritage, and your culture. No, you are not Irish. No, you are not Italian. You have your own culture, you have your own heritage, and you just need to make sure that our children know that. Teach them what our history is so that they can be proud of it.
No Black history. Social studies. We had social studies when I was going to school. We breezed over social studies like quick, fast, in a hurry. The slavery aspect of it. You know, we were into the Georgetown settlement, Jamestown settlements, and all that other stuff. Black history, we breezed through it. I regret that I didn't get much of Black history and my culture, education about my culture and stuff like that.
The paraprofessionals, the support personnel were the backbone of Project Concern. They worked to make it successful. They were that bridge between the Hartford parents and the suburban communities. The Hartford, they answered two very serious questions. What's going to happen to our children when they get out there? And on the part of the suburban parents, what's going to happen to the academic standards when these needy children come into our classroom? That was the paraprofessional.
I think what Project Concern, we had monitors on the bus, and we had very good monitors. They were very motherly. And so because they had that mother feel, even though you were on the bus, if we tried to do wrong, it was just like in the Black community, when you're in church, you know, you can be sitting way away from your parents, but if you do something wrong, it doesn't matter if there's a parent around, not yours, you're still in trouble. And I think that's how it was on the bus. You know, the bus monitors really watched us, and they treated us like they were their own children. And I think that's why now when you see some of these bus monitors in my adult life, they still treat me like I'm their daughter. And so they had many daughters and many sons.
All the experience, getting, not necessarily for me going to a suburban school, but letting them know about me. That was really important because they have this preconception view of what Black children were. And like I said, learned behavior that many of them got from home, either bad or good. But it was really important for me to let them know we're just as smart. We care about pretty much the same things, giving the same advantages, the same opportunities. We can do the same type of work, given the same type of the before school activities, the after school activities. If we were getting a chance to do these things, we can excel at those things too.
I mean, there's always a time constraints. You know, a few things that I regret, but by and large, the education opportunities I had were so profound, I don't think I'd change it for the world. I'd oftentimes wonder how different my life would have been on that fateful day if my mom said, okay, we'll let you stay. Kind of wondering where I'd be, what I'd be doing. I don't really know, but I do have a strong feeling that being in Project Concern and being in the West Hartford school system had a large impact on my life.
I think it gave me a good foundation for everything that came after, because it was such a diverse situation. To see basically the world outside of what I knew, to see that everybody was not like I was, all families were not like the family that I knew. And it was good. I mean, there were some bad experiences, but there were a lot of good experiences.
I would say for the choice kids, the opportunity for them is to socialize and become friends with the students they go to school with. Otherwise, you know, they go home, they get home at 4 on a regularly scheduled day, and how often will the parents drive them back to Simsbury to be part of, our after-school sports programs? Probably very rarely. So by doing these activities, I think they really have a sense of community, And I believe that that's just as important as the academics. I think there's the big push of No Child Left Behind. Well, to me, that's an academic initiative, but really it's the other side of the coin of No Child Left Behind socially, because if the child's not happy, well, the academics can suffer. So they're both important, and I think maybe that's the piece that's been missing. And hopefully by doing some of the things that our group is doing, the kids from Hartford feel welcome, and they make friendships, and then it starts to blossom from there. And you know, people have them over. Like I have a neighbor whose little boy has become quite friendly. She's part of our committee with one of the Hartford boys, and they're sponsoring him to play soccer, you know, twice a week.
And it's good to see a kid that wants to get up in the morning and go to school. Not a kid who wants to get up in the morning and say, oh my God, do I have to go to school? You know, and it's wonderful to see your kid come home and tell Daddy, I was in the math club and we learned this today, or we learned this today, or Daddy, we built a robot today, and it was a group of us, because it shows them team building, it shows them cooperation, it shows them how to work with people. And it's not a one-on-one individual, but in these programs that they have, they show them a lot about team building, how to work with each other, how to help each other out, how to be each other's support, which is awesome.
Tonight I'm going to Simsbury at the middle school, and they're having an event for choice families and Simsbury families. And so when we get out there, it will be some team building activities, it will be games, it will be food, and so the families from Simsbury will meet the families from Hartford, and so that relationship can begin, and so it continues after that. But there are times when you just need to have the resource to support that, and to check with families how are things going, because I think a little bit of intervention sometimes it does help.
I think Project Choice, it allowed us to dream, and not just dream like, you know, I want to go on the moon, and it's not a dream that's never going to happen. It allowed us to dream and showed us how we could achieve our dreams, and it let us believe that we could achieve our dreams, whereas that wasn't there before. And it allowed, I think, it didn't just affect the students, it affected our parents' lives. My parents realized that, okay, this is a good thing, and this is something that we need to grow on and elaborate on.
Then I find that parents I meet in the supermarket or at church or just, you know, at the mall or something, they'll see me and they'll say, oh, I wish my daughter could get in a Project Concern or something like that. I had a good experience there. I wish you were still there and all of that. So the program, even though it's old, parents still feel that it helped them. Even those who did not graduate, they feel that the experience was worthwhile.
Yeah. Sheff O'Neal. I ain't tryna let the hood just to make it out. I'm tryna bring back here what we're missing now. Now let me tell you my dude. Dad, mama ain't raised no fool, man. I'm a rock the hood. Started in 89 and 08 we got magnet schools. Whoever hated mine or really debated mine was a back shit like I'm a man, sick and try to make a move that was on the ladder up. Some people thought it was cool. Through all the evidence from all the specialists, and it still came down without helping us. So this is the precedence, navigate through negligence, try to find a solution that may be adding up to more than just nothing but little somethings we had enough. Strike one, biggest stadium, Supreme Court means more, cause here's where the pressure is. Lesson is to all of us, racism may be physically gone, yet its effects are still haunting us.